Sit down. Look me in the eye. You've watched hundreds of videos. You've heard all the quotes. You've filled your head with motivation, yet your life is still the same. I am not here to entertain you. I am here to awaken you. This is not hype. This is not theory. This is the distilled wisdom of minds sharper than steel, of spirits that refused to break, of men and women who dared to rise while others slept. And if you listen closely, not just with your ears, but with your soul, you will never need another pep talk again. Now pay attention. This may be the moment your life finally begins. There is one element, one force, that is the beginning of all wealth, all power, and all greatness. That element is desire, not a hope, not a wish, not a daydream while you scroll through someone else's success. I speak of a burning desire, white-hot, all-consuming, a desire that grips your heart so tightly it keeps you awake at night, a desire you hold with such intensity that your subconscious mind cannot help but act upon it. In my studies of more than 25,000 men and women, I discovered that the truly successful do not merely want success, they command it. I gave them the exact formula, 6 precise steps to transform desire into riches, and I give it now to you. 1. Fix in your mind the exact amount of money or goal you desire. Determine what you will give in return. There is no reward without sacrifice. 3. Establish a definite date by which you intend to attain it. 4. Create a definite plan and begin at once, whether you feel ready or not. 5. Write a clear, concise statement of what you intend to achieve, by when, and what you'll give in return. 6. Read it aloud twice daily with emotion and belief, as though your life depends on it, because it does. Why twice daily? Why with emotion? Because the subconscious mind, the seat of your power, responds not to reason, but to repetition and emotionally charged words. If you do not control the input, the world will. If you do not feed it faith, it will feed on fear. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But belief must be planted daily, watered with emotion, and guarded against weeds of doubt. Success demands total commitment. You must cut off retreat. Burn your ships at the shore. When there is no way back, only forward, you will find strength you didn't know lived within you. This is not mysticism. This is psychological conditioning. A man becomes what he thinks about most and acts on with faith. Let me ask you, what is your definite chief aim? If you cannot answer that question instantly, clearly, and passionately, you are drifting. You must imprint it onto your mind, write it, speak it, see it, obsess over it. You must want your goal with the same desperation as a drowning man wants air. And if you do that, your desire will stop being a dream. It will become a command to your subconscious and to the universe itself. But even the greatest desire will fade if not acted upon daily. You need more than emotion. You need momentum, and momentum is built through habit. Let us now turn to the invisible architecture of success, your daily systems. So, you have your desire. You've set your definite chief aim. Now the question is not what you want, but what you're doing every single day. You will not reach the mountaintop by leaping. You will arrive by small, deliberate steps, repeated with consistency, precision, and faith. As modern science confirms what I declared a century ago, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. In the brilliant mind of James Clear, we find a truth most never understand. Habits are not just actions. They are votes for the kind of person you are becoming. You do not merely run. You cast a vote for being a runner. You do not just wake up early. You reinforce your identity as a disciplined person. This is the deepest truth of habit building. Every habit is a bridge between your present self and your future self. So the question is not, how do I stay motivated? The question is, who am I becoming and through my actions today? Your behavior is not random. It follows a loop, a powerful mental formula. Cue to craving to response to reward. Break the loop and you break the behavior. Control the cue and you direct the craving. And just as one bad habit can sabotage your life, one positive habit, anchored to the right cue, can transform it. Want to build a reading habit? Stack it after your morning coffee? Want to begin exercising? Put your shoes beside the bed before you sleep. Simple, atomic, precise, and powerful. Never underestimate the power of a 1% shift. If you improve by 1% each day, in 1 year, you will not be 365% better. You will be 37 times stronger. The compounding effect of consistent behavior is one of the most misunderstood forces in the universe. Greatness is not explosive. Greatness is granular. One small act, done well, repeated, refined, reinforced. You do not need to overhaul your life today. You only need to cast a vote right now for the person you are becoming. Ask yourself each morning, what is the smallest action I can take today that makes the biggest difference a year from now? Then repeat it. Obsess over the system, not the outcome. Because while goals set your direction, systems create your destiny. But what happens when the noise of the world drowns out your system? When you feel scattered, distracted, pulled in 100 directions? Then, my friend, you must return, not to the future, but to the present. Because there is one place where power lives. One moment where transformation begins, and that place is now. Pause and listen. You've built your desire. You've shaped your habits. But now I ask you, where are you right now? Is your mind racing into the future? Is it trapped in regrets of the past? Because if it is, you are not living. You are sleepwalking. Eckhart Tolle gave the world a great truth. You are not the voice in your head. You are the one who hears it. Most people are prisoners of thought, slaves to memory, addicted to anxiety. But the moment you observe your thinking, you break the chain. The moment you realize this thought is not me, you awaken the greatest power any human being can access, presence. Time is useful, but it is not real. The past is a mental film, the future a fantasy. And yet most men live everywhere but here, this breath, this second, this room. You cannot act in the future. You cannot change the past. You can only act now. And so the now becomes your point of power. All confidence is born in the now. All healing begins in the now. All change, all transformation can only begin in the now. In every man, there are two voices, one that reacts and one that watches. Most live and die in reaction. They are pulled by thoughts like a leaf in the wind. But the few, the very few, step back. They become the observer. And in this stillness, they find something astonishing. They are not their story. They are the author of it. They are not broken. They are simply disconnected from the one place where power lives, now. When you feel overwhelmed, return to now. When you doubt yourself, return to now. When you are tempted to quit, to fear, to shrink, return to now. Because now is where breath lives, and where breath lives, so does life. The future is an illusion. The past is a shadow. Stand still, and you will become unstoppable. But in this stillness, you will meet something unexpected. You will hear a voice, quiet but relentless, the voice of your fear, your doubt, your wounds, the self-sabotaging shadow within. And then you must choose to climb, to confront, to become, because the mountain is not outside you. The mountain is you. Let me now tell you the truth that soft minds refuse to hear. You are far stronger than you think, but that strength, it will not be found in comfort. It will be revealed in pain. When your lungs are burning, when your legs are shaking, when your mind screams stop, but your spirit whispers go. That is where the wall lives. And behind that wall, another you. David Goggins discovered something profound in the crucible of Navy SEAL Hell Week and ultramarathons. Most people quit at 40%. Your mind lies to you. It tells you you're done when you're barely halfway through. That pain you feel, it is not a stop sign. It is a doorway. Walk through it, and you will meet a version of yourself you've never seen before. You callous your hands with repetition, but how do you callous your mind? Through voluntary suffering, through doing the thing you hate on purpose, through running when it's cold, studying when you're tired, showing up when no one applauds, because each time you face what breaks others, you harden, you build a shield that no insult, no failure, no storm can pierce. Goggins used a tool more brutal than any coach, the mirror. Every day he stood before it, not to admire himself, but to confront himself. He wrote Post-its on that mirror. You're weak here. You're lying here. You're hiding here. And in that daily ritual, he became dangerously honest, because you cannot change what you will not face. Look into your own eyes and ask, am I doing everything I can? If not, then today, not tomorrow, is your moment to rise. The road to greatness is paved in broken glass. Your mind will quit 1,000 times before your body ever does. But the man who learns to dance with pain, the one who turns suffering into fuel, he becomes unstoppable. You think you've reached your limit. You haven't even scratched the surface. Now you've found your fire. You've walked through the storm and discovered your strength. But raw strength is wild, untamed. The next step is focus. The next step is silence, because a sharpened mind becomes a weapon. Let us now master the art of deep concentration. You've built desire, you've forged habits, you've walked through fire. Now you must sit in silence. You must learn the one skill the modern world fears most: focused, undistracted work. In a society addicted to noise, attention is currency, focus is wealth, and deep work is gold. Your brain is not built for task switching. Each time you check a phone, open a tab, or skim a headline, you leave a residue behind. Like muddy footprints across a clean floor, your previous task contaminates the next. And so while others scroll, distracted and scattered, you sit, you think, you build. While they consume, you create. While they chase dopamine, you build discipline. Cal Newport calls it cognitive depth, the ability to dive deep into a craft, a problem, a mission without flinching. This is where breakthroughs happen. This is where mastery lives. Deep work is not just productive. Deep work is sacred. It is the meeting place between you and your genius. To enter deep work, you must separate from the shallow. No notifications, no noise, no permission seeking. Newport teaches this. Build rituals. Define your hours. Defend your attention like a fortress. Let your desk become your temple. Let the clock become your ally. Let your focus carve a masterpiece from silence. The world rewards urgency, but legacy rewards focus. And the person who can sit, concentrate, and go deep, while the rest chase novelty, that person becomes a giant among insects. While others scroll, you build. While others binge, you forge. This is how excellence is earned, not in noise, but in depth. Discipline carves the path, but what keeps a man on that path are principles, because skill without character is chaos, and speed without direction is destruction. Let us now study the timeless principles of effectiveness, habits that elevate a man from reaction to responsibility, from chaos to character. Let us now return to the roots. For all achievement, real, lasting achievement begins not with hacks, but with habits. Not the habits of the busy, not the habits of the frantic, but the habits of the effective. Stephen Covey called them the 7 habits of highly effective people. These are not tricks, these are laws, and the man who follows them becomes unstoppable. Most people are reactive. They wait, they blame, they let life happen to them. But effectiveness begins when you take the pen back, when you realize, I am not my circumstances, I am my decisions. You don't wait for the right mood, you create it. You don't react to the weather, you prepare for it. You become the cause, not the effect. Close your eyes. Imagine your own funeral. What do you want said about you? Now come back to today and ask, is how I'm living, building that legacy? The effective man starts with the final chapter and writes this day as a paragraph in that story. He knows his values, and he lives them on purpose. You are not busy, you are distracted. The world screams urgency, but Covey taught the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. What matters most must never be at the mercy of what matters least. If it doesn't align with your deepest mission, it is noise. And the effective man has no room for noise. Even a warrior must rest. Even a blade must be sharpened. Covey's final lesson: preserve your greatest asset, yourself. Renew your body. Strengthen your spirit. Deepen your relationships. Because excellence is not a sprint. It is a way of life. And the man who sharpens himself daily never grows dull. Effectiveness is not a trick. It is a covenant between you and your character. And each habit is a brick in the temple of greatness. Be proactive. Begin with the end in mind. Schedule your priorities. and sharpen your saw. Build the man, and the legacy will follow. But these habits are nothing without fuel. When discipline becomes dull, when the climb grows steep, it is not talent that carries you forward. It is persistence. It is passion. It is grit. Let us now study the one trait more powerful than intelligence, more vital than talent. Let us become unbreakable. Let me now speak to the part of you that's tired, the part of you that has failed again and again, the part of you that wonders if this is even worth it. Listen to me. It is. You do not need more talent. You do not need more luck. You need more grit. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8, then 9, then 10, and eventually the mountain moves. Angela Duckworth studied high performers, from soldiers to CEOs, and she found a simple truth. It is not the most gifted who rise. It is the most relentless. Grit is not intensity for a moment. Grit is endurance for a lifetime. It is waking up day after day with fire in your chest, even when the results are slow, even when no one is watching, even when your hands are bloody and the world is silent. That is grit. Duckworth created a scale, a way to measure grit, and what she found was this: the grittiest people were not always the smartest, but they were always the most determined. They could suffer without quitting. They could fail without folding, and they didn't just have a goal. They had a calling, a mission so strong they would rather break than give up on it. The rule is simple. Every day, do one hard thing, something that requires effort, focus, and discomfort. You can't quit in the middle. You can't walk away because it hurts, because each time you stay in the fire, you build the muscle of resilience, and that muscle becomes unshakable. Grit is not sexy. It is not glamorous. It is sweat. It is failure. It is starting over, again and again and again. But it is the most powerful force on earth, because talent counts once, effort counts twice, and if you keep rising, if you refuse to stay down, there is no force that can stop you. But grit alone can burn a man out. To endure, you must have a reason, a purpose that pulls you forward when pain tries to pull you back. You must know why you rise, why you fight, why you cannot quit. Let us now uncover the deepest driver of them all, your why. You've heard of pain, but now we speak of suffering. You've pushed your limits, but now we confront the edge of existence. Viktor Frankl lost everything, his family, his home, his freedom, inside the death camps of Auschwitz. But he discovered something no prison could take, a reason, and from that reason, he rose. Frankl wrote, "Life is never unbearable by circumstances, only by lack of meaning. You can survive the cold, you can endure the hunger, but what you cannot survive is purposelessness. A man who has a why to live can bear almost any how. And so your task is not to escape pain, but to assign it meaning." Frankl discovered the final freedom, the power to choose your response. They took his name, his clothes, his future. But they could not take his choice, the ability to suffer with dignity, to see purpose in pain, to rise spiritually even when the body was broken. And if a man can find meaning in a concentration camp, then what excuse have you? Your scars were not given to shame you. They were given to shape you. And in those scars lies your mission. The worst thing that ever happened to you can become the greatest reason someone else survives. Turn your tragedy into teaching. Turn your wound into wisdom. Let your pain fuel your purpose. Suffering is not the end. It is the beginning of transcendence. You are not a victim, you are a vessel, and through that vessel flows meaning, meaning that endures, lifts, ignites. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. And when your why becomes clear, when meaning drives every step, every choice, every breath, the universe begins to move with you. You are no longer wandering, you are on a quest. And like every great quest, you are being guided by a hidden hand, one that leads not just to success, but to destiny. Let us now speak of that destiny. You are not here by accident. You are not lost. You have heard the call, though faint, though buried. It is the same call the boy Santiago heard, the call to his personal legend, the destiny only he could fulfill, and only you can answer yours. Coelho said this: "A personal legend is what you have always wanted to accomplish. Everyone, when they are young, knows what their personal legend is. But as the years pass, the world speaks fear into your dream. It tells you to be reasonable, to settle, but your dream is still alive. It whispers in quiet moments, in moments of awe, of hunger, of longing. That dream was planted in you for a reason, and it is your duty to fulfill it. When you commit, truly commit to your personal legend, life shifts. You meet the right people. You stumble upon the right books. Doors open, synchronicities spark. As Coelho wrote, when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. This is not fantasy. This is focus plus faith plus action, multiplied over time. The world does not give to the doubtful, but it bows to the committed. In the end, the boy's treasure was not in a faraway land. It was buried where he started, but he had to go on the journey to see it, and so must you. Your greatness is already inside you, but it must be discovered through pursuit, through courage, through risk, through trust. The path awakens the power. This life is not a maze. It is a map. And if you follow the compass of your soul, if you dare to say yes to the dream etched inside you, you will find your personal legend, and the world will rise to meet your footsteps. But even destiny requires daily devotion. Even miracles demand movement. The dream begins with belief, but it is built by consistent action. Let us now master the final law, the law that turns small steps into empires. The compound effect. You've dared to dream. You've suffered, endured, evolved. Now I speak to you not of fate, but of force, the quiet, invisible force that separates those who finish from those who only fantasize, the compound effect. This is the law of the climb, the rule of momentum, the most powerful strategy in the world, because it looks like nothing until it becomes everything. The world will not cheer for you on day one, nor day two. In fact, most won't even notice. But every small act compounds, every representative, every word, every hard choice when no one's looking. These tiny wins are invisible until they're undeniable. Just like a plane shifts 1 degree and ends up in a different continent, so do your decisions, your habits, your steps. Change your destination forever. Hardy writes, "You make your choices, then your choices make you." There is no finish line. There is only today's choice. Will you read or scroll? Will you move or wait? Will you lead or follow? Each choice is a vote for the future you, and every vote counts. There are no overnight successes, only compounded disciplines. One more push-up, one more page, one more minute of focus. These are not small things. These are bricks. And brick by brick, you are building your castle. Don't chase intensity. Master consistency. Don't seek sparks. Build systems. You don't need to be extreme. You only need to be consistent. Success is never owned. It is rented, and the rent is due every day. You now know what few ever learn, that desire begins the journey, but discipline completes it. That pain is not punishment, but preparation. That your dream is not a wish, it is a responsibility. And now you stand where legends are made. At the edge of action, your time is now. So rise, building endure, become. For this is not just motivation, this is transformation.